You're listening to a piece of metal on Slam Internet Radio.
What is going on,
What's
Chicago? Waking Chaos is with me tonight, and you guys are from the suburbs just like me.
Yes,
Drove.
you are correct.
Drove like a half hour to get here.
How about that?
So, it's another Tuesday night, and I'm alone again. Don't know where Dennis is. Tony's still on hiatus. So here I am. I have this awesome band with me tonight who, coincidentally, I have played a show with and had no idea why I didn't pay attention to that fact is beyond me. But, Waking Chaos.
Thanks for having us out.
You are very welcome. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Say what you do in the band?
I'm Mark. I play drums and lead vocals and alcoholism.
I'm Bibbs. I play bass and backing vocals and smoke tall-ass bongs.
Hell yeah.
My name is Frank, and I play guitar and do solos, and I do some backing vocals in the band.
Very cool. How did you guys all meet? You guys act like you guys have known each other since high school.
Actually, it's funny. I started jamming with the band Dark Oasis way back in the day. That's how I met Frank. That fell apart and kept on jamming together. And here we are now as a three-piece.
Yeah, Mark was originally the bass player in the band for Dark Oasis, and when that band broke up, we actually went through several lineups with different drummers, and we couldn't find a drummer for a long time.
Yeah,
That's
they're
why
a dime a dozen.
Yeah, so after several years, Mark just said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna give up bass and I'm gonna give it a shot for the drums." So when he did that, we knew Dan, or Mark knew Dan, and said, "Yeah, I'll play bass." So we got him in the band. We had another guitar player, and he
Quit.
he quit. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Long story short.
Long story short, he quit, and it was about right before we recorded our first album, Driven to Madness 2. So that was kind of a bummer, but so us three remain, and here we are. I'm still playing guitar, and Mark's doing a great job at the drums, and Dan fit well doing the bass, and really happy with what's going on at the moment too.
Here we are 13 fucking years later.
13 years of just Waking Chaos.
Fucking A. Well, side projects too, but yeah, this is still on steamrolling.
Wow. Where did you guys think when you started the band where you would be now?
Dead? In jail? Maybe both? I don't know.
You're very blunt.
I don't look
about
too
it.
far into the future.
But did you think that you guys would be signed to a label? Did you want to tour, or did you just want to be like a jam band to do local shows?
Well, I mean, I think at first we had pretty much every intention that every band has to do all those things, and then you start to come across a lot of different problems, mainly just dedication from obviously all the ex-members, and then trying to figure out how to reestablish that. And I mean, we've done quite a bit, since then. We play lots of shows. We haven't done any major tours yet at the moment, but we do, plan in the future to get some of that going. I think our major accomplishment has been putting out an album, which a lot of bands, local bands, it's one step that they don't even get to. So that was a great accomplishment. And then this latest album, Imminent Annihilation, it's probably the best of us three collaborating in our chemistry. Because the first album was basically written.
It was already written.
Yeah, it was already written. And then, like I said, the guitar player, he left the band right before we went into the studio. So we just kind of had to hustle to get this the first album done, and Dan, I mean, he did a great job to uptake that. 'Cause I was like, wow, how we're gonna pull this off, but we did. We stuck to our guns, and just those problems of keeping a lineup together. It was a major issue, at least for us. So now that we got a good solid lineup, we've been able to accomplish a lot of things, and this latest album, Imminent Annihilation, is. It's a good way for people to listen to it, to be like, okay, this is this three, performing, with their, our respective instruments, and I think it's the best outcome that we've done, or at least an accomplishment. And we got some shows coming up too, so that's a great thing. We just take it in stride, whatever we can get. I mean, obviously we're independent. We've looked for label support, but not really hard, I guess. There are some labels out there, but it seems like there's a lot of money and a lot of politics involved in that. So, we just kind of stuck to our guns on our own, and I think that's probably why we survived. Because there's definitely been a lot of bands that when we started back 10 years ago are not around anymore. You don't even hear of these bands. So there's very, very few that still, hold the name and still around, in 2011. We're still here.
Did you plan that whole thing before you came here? You like to talk, man.
Practice that in front of a mirror, didn't you?
He's got it all figured out. He hardly stumbled. Bravo. This album that you're talking about, how would you describe the sound of it?
Very refined. The first album was gritty and raw. There was really no punch-ins or mixing or anything done, and it turned out good. This one, a lot of miking, a lot of mixing. Chris DeJurek, anybody that's worked with him knows he's definitely the man for the job.
That's who's recorded most of your stuff?
Yeah,
did
he
the
recorded
last-
that in our first demo, and then we used Mike Summerow for the first actual
Mike
album.
Summerow.
You know Mike?
Yeah, I used to
Yeah.
give drum lessons to my brother.
Yeah, he's a good guy,
The
man.
world-
I know him
Yeah.
for a long
The
time.
world
He's a
keeps
great
getting
guy.
smaller. Wow.
Right?
Who the hell's gonna walk in here next?
Right?
I don't know. I wish I could tell you. So you guys have how many albums out right now?
We got 2 full albums and 1 6-song. Is there 6 or 5?
Six
6-song
songs.
EP.
That was back in 2000 with that has Mark on bass and vocals, the other guitar player, myself on guitar, and Terrence, who is I think in Florida now. And we did that with Chris DeJurek back before he had his studio that he has now. So he was right at the beginning, and that was the original lineup, and that we recorded that first demo. So we still have a few copies of that actually on CD. But definitely this one was a lot better. Chris DeJurek has done a lot of bands, and if you ever heard of Gorgasm, he did that. Flesh Grind,
November's Doom.
November's Doom. So he's done a lot of bands since the first demo. So we're really happy to go to him. And we had we did it in 5 days, right? Recorded that.
Yeah.
I don't remember one of those days. I got extremely
Blackout?
drunk.
What's the code?
I forgot how to get back into the house, actually. It was pretty funny. Almost wiped out down the stairs. And these guys didn't even videotape it. I don't know what the
So
hell
you
their
do
fucking
remember
problem is.
parts.
Well, they told me about it.
Oh. I guess that helps.
Yeah.
We remind him about that an awful lot.
Yes.
How about you tell us the story from your point of view of seeing what he got himself into? I want to hear this story.
I could set it up and they could finish it. I mean,
How about they well, you could set
I
it
did-
up.
I got
wanna
all my
hear-
drum
Let
tracks
him
done.
set it up and we'll top it off.
I
Okay.
got all my drum tracks done really quick. It only took me 2 hours to do all the tracking, and I was like, great. Time to tie one on. Started slamming beer. End of the night, Chris was like, well, guys, I'm done. I'm going to the bar. Who's coming with? They're both like, no, not me, man, not me. I'm like, all right, fuck it, saddle up. We're going out to the fucking bar, brother. And started drinking some Spotted Cow. I mean, you can't even look through it. This shit's so thick.
drinking
That's
syrup.
about the end of the story as far as I can tell it.
Yeah, where we recorded at, Chris has got a house that's actually the studio. So if you're a band, you can pretty much stay there. There's room and board and everything. And to get into the back, there's a keypad with a code, and he gave us all the code. And I woke up to like a distant knocking in the background. I'm on the couch and I'm like, I hear something weird's going on. So I started walking towards the back, and I had completely forgotten Mark had left. And so I get to the door, I kind of open the curtain, I see him, and he's just like, he's got his cell phone right up to the keypad, and he's just like, can't even hold it straight, and I'm just like, oh God, I'm like, and he's trying to figure out the code, and I could tell he can't figure it out. So I just open the door, and he comes just flying in. It's like, oh man, good thing you're up. And he just like went to the left side of the hallway, slammed against the wall,
Puked.
and then and then slammed into his room.
I'm a professional drunk. I very rarely ever puke.
Oh no.
It was great. It was awesome.
I wish they would have videotaped that. That would have been really funny to watch before the show. Hey, this is
Yeah.
our band, and this is our drummer.
At his
that
best.
We do have some video of Frank when we were recording. He's holding the video camera up going, What's up? This is me.
Homemade
classic.
movie.
And then we got some really good footage of the sky in Racine, which is priceless.
Yeah, that's going to be on a DVD. I'm putting together a DVD of the whole experience.
That would explain why there's a video camera right now in the quote studio with me right
well,
now.
this will be on the YouTube official YouTube channel that I have. Pretty much post all our stuff. Actually, the show that we played with your X band, we got some real good live footage. JD Muggs from there. So
You're gonna have to show me. Did you
Yeah.
record the whole show?
yeah, I think I did. I mean, I think I put mostly Waking Chaos stuff. I wasn't sure if the other bands wanted their performances up, But I still got some of that. If you
I'd be
want me to
interested
post
see.
it, yeah.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know how the other guys would feel because
Oh, fuck them.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, it's a YouTube Artip Morbid at YouTube. Just look that up and you'll be able to pull up the channel. There's a bunch of other stuff on there too.
That's cool.
Yeah. So you can
I
check
have
that
to
out.
say though, like for the listeners that don't know right now, they brought a video camera with them, and this is the first time that a band has actually wanted to video their
Oh, sweet.
chat. So it's a first to be able to look over and there's hi camera.
Yeah, and
Just be
everybody
like-
that's listening, you'll be able to watch this on YouTube. We're gonna post it on our
Not
site and
live,
everything.
but-
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously not live, but you'll be able to see it.
Well, the
as
real
soon as I
reason,
get home.
the real reason is we actually all have early onset dementia, and we
Oh, okay.
have no idea how long it's going to be before our brains just go to shit. So we want to be able to be like, oh yeah, we did that.
Want to know about my band? Watch this because I can't tell you anything else
Right.
anymore. Gotcha. When you guys record, what's the process like for you guys?
Set up, put some mics and stuff on the instruments.
The basics.
Yeah,
Well, you
Jam
should
out.
if you go to Chris, as typical, the drums go first. The way he had us do the last recording was pretty much jam the song. I mean, we came in pretty much really prepared with all the songs as how we wanted them to sound, and he had us do a live set in which he captured the drums and he created a click track. So people, been in the studio before, they know what a click track is to all the songs. So he created that. And then we went back once the drums were the main part of the recording. Then we went back and I'm pretty sure we did a guitar second or was it bass?
No, it was guitar second.
guitar.
So
came
guitar
second.
came second.
and there was like 25 plus mics on my tiny little 5-piece drum kit.
Damn.
yeah,
he doesn't play around.
Yeah, Chris is real thorough. I mean, he spent time just like tuning and just getting the drums polished off. I mean, sitting and watching, he's like a kind of like a mad scientist,
Gave my drums a rectal exam.
Yeah, pretty much.
Try to relax.
They did not say no.
Yeah, so the bass came second? No, third, right? And
Yeah, the bass came, and then your solos, I believe.
then the solos, and then that final part was the vocals. And I mean the whole process was a five-day process. But I know that he's got other bands that have been in there for a longer period of time. But I mean, if you got money to spend, I mean he'll sit there and do it. But we came in there, we're like, since we all work, we don't make that much money, so we went in there, prepared to be like, okay, how much time do we really have, or
Yeah.
how much money do we really have? So, but we prepare really good, and we were able to do it in 5 days, which is, to me, it's great to do 10 songs in 5 days like that.
Yeah, that's like
an
doing 2
accomplishment.
songs a day. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
And so is my math right there.
Nice. I was trying to count under the table so you couldn't see my fingers. But
I saw you
epic.
thinking like really hard. The look on your face, you're like, 5 and 2.
yeah, if I
what?
didn't have the headphones on, you'd see smoke coming out of my ears right now.
And the train whistle, right?
Yeah.
This album that you have out right now, is there a theme to it,
There
vocal
is.
wise?
It's a story, believe it or not. I think.
I
Mark-
believe it. Tell
Mark
it to me.
would probably be.
It's kind of loosely based around like government disarming the citizens and some people fighting back, and it doesn't go well. But
Sounds like a Green Day album.
ouch!
I'm sorry. I think they just released something called 21st
I think it's time
Century
for us to
Breakdown.
leave. It branched off from the first album because Driven to Madness is the name of that album, and Imminent Annihilation is the second part of the story. So it's like one big story from beginning to end.
Yeah, I think we got all the storytelling out of our system for a while. I think we're
Is it
gonna-
all a single person's point of view, or is it various?
It's kind of vague, actually. Left open to interpretation.
Well, at least to me, it always seemed like, maybe one or two, one guy typically, I think, from beginning
Yeah.
to end, he's pushed kind of too far by the authorities, and so it's like the whole. If you look at both albums as a whole story, it's him, taking up arms and being pushed too far, being jailed. But I guess you really have to like read into the lyrics to see what the whole story is about. I
We
don't
did
wanna
use some pretty cool writing techniques. We didn't want our sound to get stale. So one in particular song, Incendiary Retribution, we wrote it all with a deck of cards.
That's
And,
cool.
Yeah.
One suit was all the drums patterns. One suit was the guitar. Another suit was how many times each riff was going to actually go. And we
Wow.
just sat there in the living room and drew cards, and then just went back and kind of filled in the blanks and came together. I think it's one of the better songs on
That's
the disc.
interesting.
It's
Are you playing that later? Is that on the demo that you brought today?
Yes, Incendiary Retribution.
Very cool. We'll have to check that out. And who usually writes the lyrics for you guys?
we all
Guess-
do.
Yeah, we all do.
Team effort.
I would
Team
say
effort.
I might write a little bit more, but everybody has a say in it.
Right, and he does 95% of the lyrics, vocals, so it kind of goes without saying, most of it comes from him, but we all pretty much, well, how does this sound, what do you think about this, I like that, but how do you think this fits, and it's all, nothing is ever, this is the way it is, and that's, this is the way I want
That's
it.
Eric from Beneath the Stairs dropping off flyers.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's,
Yeah,
it's done when we all agree on it.
Yeah, I definitely like the way we write the songs. I mean, so we have we have a title, obviously.
Flyers.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's,
Yeah,
it's done when we all agree on it.
Yeah, I definitely like the way we write the songs. I mean, so we have we have a title, obviously, and then we begin with we have a title, obviously, and then we begin with several paragraphs, and we all pass the sheet around until we have something that's cohesive, and I like that way.
Flyers.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
It's,
Yeah,
it's done when we all agree on it.
Yeah, I definitely like the way we write the songs. I mean, so we have we have a title, obviously, and then we begin with we have a title, obviously, and then we begin with several paragraphs, and we all pass the sheet around until we have something that's cohesive, and I like that way. We have a title, obviously, and then we begin with several paragraphs, and we all pass the sheet around until we have something that's cohesive, and I like that way. Sheet around until we have something that's cohesive, and I like that way. The way we write the lyrics, 'cause you get the best. If somebody gets stuck, kind of like a mental block, and somebody else can pick it up and be like, "Oh, here's this idea," and just brainstorm from that point on, and that gives it. That way, it's not just one idea being ran through.
Nobody in this band would have a mental block.
All that drinking? Really?
Well, Frank's
The ball
only,
hitting?
Frank's the only lame one here. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't drink. He just, kind of sits in a chair.
And watches you two just go at
He
it?
just drools all over himself.
Just gets a secondhand high,
Yeah. There's lots of coffee and soda pop. And stuff
But I
like
will
that.
say this in his defense. It has produced some of the most insane riffs that he's ever written.
Thank you.
On this album?
On this one, the one before that, because it's been a few years since he's drank any, and I know it's been at least
It's
a
about
year.
it's 9 years, going on 9 years since I quit drinking.
Oh,
so,
damn.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It's been a long time.
Was
yeah.
it a problem or just a...
Yeah, it was. Yeah, well, I mean, it was hysterical to my bandmates.
It made me look like a fucking altar boy for a couple years there.
But no, it feel at least for myself, it feels much better. And it's not a problem. I don't preach to them. They can party as hard as they want. It's no problem.
Thanks, Frank.
I kind of
That was your
I think I will.
So you guys, for 13 years, been making music together.
I've been here like the last 5.
It's the last 5.
Yeah, I came in and when they were like just about ready to record Driven to Madness. So that stuff was pretty much already written, and then Imminent Annihilation was my first time actually, writing with all, with the other two, and that's what the 3 of us came up with. So the two, they do sound similar but different at the same time. You if you listen to them both, you can definitely tell. All right, this is what it sounds like with him writing. But it was. I love it.
Me and Mark, like I said, we met back when with a band called Dark Oasis, and me and him and known each other since was what 98 when we met up, or
I'd say it's even earlier than that because
like
we
96?
started in like 98 as far as Chaos goes, so maybe more like 96, 97.
Yeah, somewhere around there, I think I had met Mark in the pit at a Testament show somewhere, and he knocked the shit out of me.
Who, me?
Yeah, him and a couple other dudes.
Was
I'm
he
like,
drunk?
I don't know.
Maybe
But
if it
that's-
was a day that ended in AY.
Yeah, but
that's a
that
good
was
possibility.
one of my first meetings with Mark. I'm like, well, this motherfucker, man, he just fucking punched me in my chest. And
Good
we
thing you're my
started-
friend, or it would have been a little higher.
He was probably getting even with you because you were one of these that like to crouch down in the pit and like do the surprise ninja attack on somebody.
You
All
invented
of us-
hardcore dancing before hardcore dancing existed.
Oh,
Yeah, probably. I don't know, but he hit me pretty hard. And then we started auditioning bassists, and he came along. I'm like, hey, that's the guy that knocked my ass out in the Testament pit. I'm like, holy shit, And we've been together ever since. Just writing music, and it's great. We have good chemistry together. And now with Dan in the picture, it's even better.
Who the fuck is this Dan you keep talking about?
Bibbs.
Oh.
That's his.
Thanks for clarifying. that
Maybe
for me.
maybe you should tell people why
that's
people
my
call you
that's
call you
my
Bibbs.
superhero name.
You guys all have superhero names?
I don't think so, unless you guys haven't told me yet.
No.
Mark refers himself as Mr. Blasty, and
That's
Actually-
not a superhero name.
No, actually,
Well,
Mike Summerow nicknamed me that because
Oh,
it's
okay.
kind of similar to my last name, and it was also Homer Simpson's gun. I'm a huge Simpsons fan, and play a lot of blast beats, so it only made sense.
Gotcha.
people call Dan Bibbs, and I think you should tell people why they call you Bibbs, because that's a lot of
All
people
right.
ask that
I think
question.
he's
all
still
the time.
trying to think about it.
no. I'm going to tell my version because I'm
That's
sure
fine.
Mark over here will kind of, disagree slightly on some of the details. But first of all, I was sick. Fuck you, Mark. I was sick. I had a chest cold.
HIV.
But and I wasn't going to let that stop me from pulling tubes. So I was living in an apartment at the time where we smoked in the bedroom so it didn't get out the window or the doorway, and sitting on the bed, pulled the tube and just started coughing, and this what looked like Slimer from Ghostbusters
Oh.
just came right up,
Gnarly.
laying it on the bed, almost on Mark's knee.
Got up and walked away.
It's like, oh, dude, maybe the next time you should think about wearing a bib. And the next time he was over, I was like, oh, wait a second. And I went and I got a bib. And there you go, America. That's how I got the nickname Bibbs.
I think you got the story pretty much right. Except I think I remember a big chunk of that shit landed on your shirt.
Okay, yeah, I'll admit that.
That's gross, dude. I mean, what kind of chest cold did you have there?
The kind that keep you off of work for a couple days, but not keep you away from the bong.
Gotcha.
Touche.
So when you guys write your songs, does somebody start off lyrics, give it to somebody else to read them and add to it, or
Kind of. We usually start with riffs first, and then kind of pick out a good vocal rhythm, count out the syllables and stuff to go over different riffs, and then just flows from the pen. I take that into the bathroom and write all the lyrics while I'm taking a shit. I'm serious. All my fucking lyrics have come to me while I was taking a
not
shit.
He's not lying.
I don't know why. It's some phenomenon when I'm really creative when I'm dropping mud.
I don't even know where to go from there. All right, I think we gotta listen to some music right now. How about we check out those tracks that you guys have on your newest album?
Sounds good.
And we will be back after 2-3 songs. We are with Waking Chaos, and this is a piece of metal. And we are broadcasting from 4055 Milwaukee Avenue, across from the Portage Theater at PC here. And I'm solo tonight. So it's music time.
touch that dial, you're listening to Slam Internet Radio. Wait a minute. There is no dial. Well, just keep on listening.
have a relaxing night and kick back with friends? Then head over to the Hookah Joint Lounge in Rogers Park. The Hookah Joint Lounge is located at 2755 West Devon Avenue and is home to over 70 different flavors of only the finest of hookah tobacco. Come on in and enjoy a laid-back atmosphere with friends, all the while being served by our courteous staff. The Hookah Joint Lounge also features HD TVs playing every sporting event every night, while the hottest music is playing overhead. The Hookah Joint Lounge is a BYOB open to those 18 and above and 21 and over to drink. So if it's a relaxing night that you crave, then come on into the Hookah Joint Lounge and let us serve you. For more information, call 773-465-5665 or just head over to 2755 West Devon Avenue in Chicago.
Hey kids, how about some music? Let's see here. Hold on to your socks or forfeit them to the rock as Slam returns with the newly revamped NRG Underground. Showcasing local artists, live interviews, in-studio performances, and more. Check it out Saturday nights at 11 on Chicago's own Slam Radio. That's slaminternetradio.com.
You're listening to a piece of metal on Slam Internet Radio.
And we are back with a piece of metal, obviously, because that's what that bumper said. And special thanks there to Tony. Tony, no,
Thank you,
camera's
Tony.
not flashing. Sorry, stop flashing me. No, but Tony made that awesome bumper that we have now for the show to introduce this awesome program. Tonight, I am solo without Tony and Dennis right now, but I do have the wonderful and brutal Waking Chaos. And that was all your music that we just heard in that last break there.
Yeah, that was some good stuff.
I liked it.
Why, thank you.
What's the name of that track?
What track?
Made it, right? Are you a fraud?
The first one was Manic Relapse, and the second one was, I know the song, what was the title?
I have it written down here.
Good, because I can't read
Manic
it.
Relapse. I can't read this guy's handwriting. Maybe you can.
Way to go,
Your
Frank.
turn. Do you know what that says?
Incendiary Retribution. And then a real popular one that everybody seems to like, which I think is only like 3 riffs, is Non-Cunt.
Non-Cunt.
Non-Cunt. Yeah, that's usually gets a lot of attention at
People are
shows.
screaming that before we even start playing.
Yeah.
It was
What
all
does
written
it
as
say
a
about
joke.
your music?
It was written as a joke, anyways.
Yeah, it's I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Like you heard earlier, Mark said he writes his stuff on the shitter, so I think that's one of those shitter songs.
Yeah, tribute to John.
Yeah, that one was kind of influenced by a friend of ours who lives down in Memphis right now, John, who is quite the little antichrist himself. But he's just got this infatuation of wanting to fuck a chick dressed like a nun. And the
Somebody
song
want to
just-
bring home to
That's
mom and dad, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
That's an interesting fetish there.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. Yeah, you may want to stay far away from him.
I guarantee you that I will.
I think all women in Illinois should stay away from him.
Should put my
Probably
nun
nail them
costume in
all
the
anyways.
closet. Save that for day that he's not around.
Unless there's some nuns out there who want to,
We'll give you
him a
his
call.
number.
Well, the priests are too busy with the boys, and nuns are left alone, so they're looking for some love somewhere.
Somebody's got to give it to him, right?
That's right.
Yeah, Joy Gore. That's his name on, I think, Facebook. People want to look him up.
Don't look him up. He
Send-
sounds like a
great-
creeper.
send
He's a
some-
great guy.
send some nuns his
He's a
way.
great guy.
He's a
who
great
likes
friend.
nuns.
He's one of those friends you're glad that he's your friend.
That's right.
No, well, honestly, he went to a lot of our shows. I mean,
He's the ultimate
he
fan.
went to all kind of outskirts to see us play, which is really cool. Yeah, he slammed dance by himself at a couple of shows. There was nobody at, so I gotta give him credit. He's out there just throwing down full support. So yeah.
What's the furthest that you guys have gone to play?
The Piatone.
Maybe, yeah.
Where's that?
Tone.
That's south, down 57.
Yeah,
down
that's
there
south.
in cornfield country.
That was a really cool
You
show.
played
actually.
the cows.
We
We
horses
were in a
and
barn,
pigs.
actually.
In a barn, yeah, in a
Holy
barn,
shit.
yeah, with the Cursed. And there's some other bands too. I can't remember the other
Was
bands.
there a big turnout despite where you guys were?
Oh yeah, it was a great. It's a real good. They had a ghost pinata.
That's awesome.
While we were playing, they had it set up on a rope, and while we were playing it, the rope went right above us, and people just started tearing this thing off.
What comes out of a metal pinata? I mean,
It was
Chinese
it was
stars.
a ghost pinata. I forgot what he put in there. I forgot what it was.
Joints.
Man.
Used rubbers.
Mini whiskey bottles,
Yeah, that was a very cool show. I got footage of that, but it's too dark, so you
that
can't really. Yeah,
sucks.
it does suck, But it was a real cool show. We had a great time. I think it's the furthest we've gone, right?
Yeah, we haven't hit the world tour yet. It's coming up in a couple weeks here.
But now we're on the radio here. I expect the phone to start ringing as soon as we
oh,
leave here.
unfortunately, the phone right now is out of service and has been because it's been fucking up on us.
Damn phone.
Sorry about that.
I guess it's back
But
to
people
work
can
for us.
people can call your phones and we can listen to your phone conversation. That would be awesome.
Okay, Frank's number is
Cinco, cinco,
those
cinco,
that know
cinco,
Frank.
cinco, cinco, cinco.
Those that know Frank, call Frank's phone and we'll talk to you on air. Or
well
Dan
played, sir.
or Mike's and
Mike.
Mike. Sorry, I'm thinking this
You
kid
got-
right here.
You got 3 of the letters right.
Yeah, Mark. Whatever.
man.
We'll get them to call you guys and we'll talk to you guys that way. But venue wise, what's been your favorite place and then your worst place to play?
Well, as far as sound goes, I thought that Bada Brew was pretty solid. I mean, it just kind of sucked that we were with all cover bands. We're out of our element. But it's a great show anyways.
Yeah, the sound guy there was just on top of his game. We've always had really good sound at the Yodi.
Yeah, Yoletown is a great place for sound. Penny Road Pub.
I love Penny Road.
That we had a guy who was, I forgot his name, but he was there for a while until he got picked up by a band in Hawaii, and they were gonna pay him big money to go do their sound and fly him around. And we were really sorry to see him go, but every time we played, I mean, we got a good repertoire with him, and every time we played, he always gave us an excellent sound at the Penny Road Pub. And it's too bad once he went away. Actually, I think they stopped doing a lot of shows. Or if they still do, they don't advertise them
Yeah, that can be a
for-
problem
for
when you don't
heavy-
advertise.
for, like,
You have to
know,
go on their
death metal
website if you want to see who's playing in the downstairs, which I think is a load of bullshit.
bands. Yeah, because like if you're death metal, at Penny Road Pub, you play in the downstairs. I think there was one time.
That's what I've heard.
Well,
yeah.
one time, I think they had us confused, and we were about to play on the upstairs. So we were like, "Yeah, finally!" We gotta start putting our gear up there, and then it's like, "Oh, well, who are you guys?" "Oh, Waking Chaos." "You guys downstairs."
Get your asses
Oh
downstairs.
man, it's like, come on. But we did play one. What was the name of the stadium? Or I forgot. That's a pretty cool one.
Oh yeah, that's right. At the Golf Dome.
Yeah, we played at the Golf Dome in the middle of a storm.
That was nuts for the chairs, basically.
Yeah, there's hardly anybody there. I mean, it's a cool place.
You should have just made a music video out of the whole experience.
We have it. It's just
Yeah. I think this was before Dan started playing bass with us.
No, that was
You know?
when you had Gary.
Yeah, we had another friend of ours playing bass, and we play there. And I guess it would have been great if there was a lot of people there, but it was in the middle of the storm next to the highway, so it was bad.
Yeah.
We still did our set though. We still played. It's like, hey, fuck it. you
Yeah,
know?
and of course, fucking Mugs is great because that's like 4 blocks from
Yeah.
where we practice
Very
at.
convenient place.
So, we could wheel the gear right down the sidewalk if you really needed to.
All right, and the crowd is always awesome at Mugs.
Oh yeah.
You see the guy doing sound the other night. Oh my god, was he the shittiest person ever?
Oh boy.
He took forever to get the first band situated after that cover band played. I'm just like, what's taking them? I'm not kidding. 20 minutes to get this one band sound over and over. Like he kept screwing up their little intro thing and oh my god, I was so pissed.
Like, step into my office. You're fucking fired.
Well, the show that we played together, Smitty did most of it.
Smitty's
Yeah.
a great
he
sound
did,
guy.
Yeah.
he did really good.
And
sound,
that was
yeah.
really good because he knew what he was doing.
Plus, he's a good coordinator. If he was, he was pretty much being like, "Hey, you guys got this much time. Next band, whatever." You know what I'm saying? So you kind of need all those elements, and that's missing in a lot of venues. If you're a local band out there, a lot of it,
we
a lot of
interrupt
places,
this broadcast.
There's
Damn.
no,
That smells good.
yeah, there's no
You have
coordination.
burritos?
Something like that.
Smell it from here, dude. That's really nasty.
So you're saying that band played for what 2 hours or something? I
Yeah, no, there was this band.
somebody should have said, "Hey, man, you
Yeah.
got 30 minutes. Get off the stage."
No, they
throwing
literally
bottles
played
at 'em and
2
shit.
hours, and the bands that were supposed to play at 8 o'clock didn't go on until 11.
That's terrible.
I was so pissed because I was trying my hardest to get there on time, and then it's just like, who the fuck are these guys? It's like, there's a hardcore band, there's a metal band, and there's like this death metal band, and we play Fuel and Three Doors Down covers.
Yay.
Wow.
Way to pump the crowd up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually having this conversation with Chris DeJersic, when we were recording down there.
Just let it out. What are you laughing about? Everything.
Just
Yeah,
his
what-
pronunciation. 'cause
How do you say
he's the jerk.
The jerk. Okay, I'm sorry.
The
The jerk.
jerk.
Yeah.
Frank Garcia.
Oh boy.
Garcia.
But what he was saying about venues, even with bigger bands, that he would put it upon himself to actually call the place and coordinate the bands as far as how much time went to, So even at that level, even when you're playing big places, as he was telling me, he was making calls, and he's in the band, November's Doom, calling all the other bands, saying, what time, set times, and he would actually print out a schedule and post it. He was talking about the Abbey Pub when he did it. So even at that level, you know what I'm saying? So you see a lot of local shows, and I remember I played a show with another band, and we got there, and there wasn't even a PA. So all the bands, there's 4 bands playing. Everybody's just sitting around like, okay, what are we going to do? Well, we're all in a room. I'm like, and there's nobody there to tell you, what to do. So eventually everybody's like, hey, we got to figure something out. we got to get the show together. So we found a PA, and we did our show. But I mean, there was nobody there, just the place. I think whoever set up the show showed up at the end of the show to collect the money and be like, hey, how was the show? I'm like, well, where were you? You know what I'm
Sounds
saying?
like Nightcaps, Scott Davidson.
You can tell the story. This is an open radio.
Oh, he does that all the time. He loves, if you're, in my opinion, Scott, if you're listening, really don't give a shit, but I'm going to tell you anyway. First of all, if he's not familiar with you and he really doesn't care for you, he's going to stick you last. Every time we played nightcaps, we get stuck going on at 1 o'clock in the morning.
When no one's there.
When nobody's, when the guy's, wanting to change the urinal pucks in the guy's room and get the fuck out of there. Here comes Scott, all right, here, I'm ready for my take of the door. So,
What dick.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But, he's fucking old and going to be gone soon, so whatever.
So
Well, I guess we
will
won't
not
be
be
getting
playing
any shows by
nightcaps.
him anymore. I guess we're done with that.
Where
Nightcaps itself is a great bar.
where have you guys not played that you want to play?
Definitely House of Blues, Metro,
Reggie's,
yeah.
There's a lot of bands.
Clearwater.
Clearwater, yeah.
I'd like to play that Mexican bar again.
Played a Mexican bar.
We played a Mexican restaurant.
Actually, you know what? We should tell her about. We played the Club of the Deaf, and not
Oh, that's
death as in
classic.
death metal. I mean like hearing impaired. We played for a club of hearing impaired people, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Because they were listening to the vibrations of our music, and
They were listening to
They were
shit.
dancing. They're dancing to this stuff, and we're just like, wow.
It was pretty surreal. I mean,
It
you
was
had
down Irving Park. I forgot the name of the place.
everybody's, sign language, and you go up to the bar, and they have a little pad of paper and a pencil, and you write down what you want. We have video of it. I mean, I've
Yeah,
told
we
the
do.
story, and
We
people
actually-
didn't believe me.
we
I was like,
have
all right, you
video
got to
of it.
watch the video. All right?
Were
Now
you the
know.
only band that played that night?
It was us and another band. It was like a cover band or something like that.
Yeah.
And how did you get into playing that show?
It was a friend of mine, and his band practiced there all the time. So it was a benefit show that they would do a benefit thing every year, and they asked us to come down and play. It was going to be them and another band. So we decided, yeah, I told them about it, and they're like, yeah, just do it. It's going for a good cause. I mean, it's for their club, And yeah, we had a great time. I think this. Dan, I don't know if Dan was in the band yet.
No.
He wasn't. But that was a
was a long time
very
ago.
interesting experience, to say the least.
Speaking of benefit shows, you guys last year was it that you guys played that benefit show with the Viscritorium?
God, was it last year or was it just this past March?
It's March of
March?
this year.
I want to give my condolences to Emma, who lost her uncle this morning at 3 a.m., singer of a Viscritorium. Very sad, but he's in a better place, and, we did what we could, so...
Yeah, I mean, if anybody out there listening, check out Abysticorium.
Viscritorium. How did you? I thought
can't
I was
speak.
bad at pronouncing things.
Trust me, these guys, they know.
Dejurisictorium.
No, Viscritorium is badass. Emma has some amazing vocals.
Definitely, Justin, kick-ass guitars.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
for a woman, she definitely makes a lot of men seem very, very small.
Wow.
Yeah, they're definitely a really good group. But Emma, I think she's listening tonight. So sorry to hear about your loss, and that you got a lot of support behind you.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
You got our support too.
and he's watching. He liked the scene, and he was there to support you. So
If you're listening, if you want to do a memorial show, just let us know.
yeah, Waking Chaos putting themselves out there, all ready to play the memorial show.
That's right.
So.
Definitely.
Pouring ourselves out as usual.
Got to.
Not at a memorial show. Don't do it.
I meant, not literally.
We do have a show coming up at the End Zone in Aurora. If people
List
wanna
them
come
all
check it
out. Every show that you guys got so far booked.
Yeah, well,
Say
yeah.
'em.
So yeah, right now in September 24th, it's called Aurora Metal Mayhem at the End Zone with En Masse, Bury Your Demons, and Everscathe is on the bill. So there's 4 bands. I don't know if there's going to be any more added, but it should be a pretty cool show. We're trying to get something going in October. We'll see what happens further down. If not October, then November probably. Not too much in the winter though, but yeah.
How do you guys usually book your shows? Do you do it by yourselves, or do you have a company that does it for you?
We pretty much do it ourselves. We use Facebook. We used to when MySpace much bigger. We used to use MySpace. That helped out a lot, but now it's Facebook and pretty much the internet. We use as much as we can. Whenever we see something available or something that to our liking, we hit them up. I mean, it's best we can do. I mean, I guess you could pay somebody to do it, but we actually, I should say, I actually tried something like that. We got to play the U.S. Beer Company, and that
Place
was
is
a
a
big
fucking
man. I
dump.
can't remember the name of the company because they changed their name after the whole event. I think Afton. Any bands listening out there, Afton, they go by another name now. They make bands fucking pay to play. They suck dick. I would stay far, far away from pay to play shows.
The Metro does that too.
Yeah, fuck all that. I'm sorry, but that's just my feeling. And you shouldn't. If you're a musician, you should be getting paid.
So does Mojo's.
Wow.
Actually,
Yeah.
I forgot what band right now is supposed to play. They got a slot opening for the Misfits in October, and
No, that's not Sinister Fate, is it?
I don't know. What happens if it is? What are you gonna do about it?
Not go.
I don't know, dude.
I
But
think Biff's just letting it all go.
all I know is that
You got
he
a lot
told
of
me.
hate mail at your
Yeah.
Facebook page, yo.
No, he told me that they had to. They give them the tickets. They have to sell them all.
Yeah, that's horseshit.
retarded.
That's a
That's
scam.
horseshit.
Yeah,
We fell for that when we
They're
were young.
$22 a ticket if you buy them off them.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a lot
Bands
for
don't
a
do
band
that.
to sell.
I say do not do that.
Yeah, especially, your friends, because, when you think about it, it's going to be mostly your friends that are going to be
Right.
buying the tickets off you, and they've already seen you once, twice, 5, 10 fucking times, and they're paying $5 to $8 a crack to come see you, plus beer. Then they're not going to want to spend $22
No,
to come.
definitely not. They need
so-
to do what like JD Muggs and Penny Road does. You ask them who you seeing, and you tally it, and then you
Yeah.
give them the money at the end of the night. I mean,
Yeah. Or even better, sometimes it's just,
Right.
play for free and have no cover,
Yeah.
which works out because then everybody comes out and they got more
Right.
money to spend on beer or whatever, or pop if you're Frank, or,
So when did you guys wrap the album that you just released?
There was no rap on that album.
No rap. I must have the wrong band in here. It's supposed to have like Ghetto Booty or something in here. They never showed up. Got
was
stuck
like-
with Weekend Chaos.
Maybe the next album, but we haven't decided that yet.
When was our CD release part? That was at JD's, right?
No, that was at Billy's. Oh wait,
Billy's? The
no,
Chicken
that was-
Shack?
that was Drift
Old Country
Band.
Buffet.
We played in the gazebo in the park.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was at Muggs.
Yeah, no, it
think
was
so.
at Muggs.
It was at JD Muggs back in. It wasn't the March. It was before that.
April.
Yeah, I think it must have been April.
Because we recorded it last May.
Yeah. So it was. That was our CD release party at Muggs, which is pretty fucking cool.
So how long until you guys end up recording again?
Well, we're like 3.5 tunes into what we're writing currently. We'll be playing 2 brand new songs, by the way, at
The show.
the
at
show in
Ensign.
Aurora.
Yeah.
So come on out.
What are the names? Flatline.
Flatline Ecstasy and Hail Fucking Satan.
That, it's not what you think too. So we're definitely not a satanic band, but
No.
it's
It's
just
more about people don't really listen to or read death metal vocals. So it's
No, because you
basically
don't know
like,
what the fuck you're saying.
Right.
Exactly. So it's basically like,
I mean,
hey,
for
you-
all I know, you're going. You're doing a dog noise.
Oh,
you know,
shit. She
I don't
figured
know what
us
you're
out,
saying.
man. She figured it out.
Cat's
the
out of the
secret
bag
is
now.
out. Damn.
You know the Rottweiler that you have in the backyard? You just mimicked his bark,
You
and
know.
you're good.
Yeah.
There was actually a band that did that.
Really?
They had 2 pit bulls that they just had recorded on microphone, and they set it to music. I
That's
shit
really
you
funny. And then they fake wrote lyrics to it and went, "This is what you're saying. Figure
Yeah.
out how to say it."
I thought that'd be cool to do a song where all the vocals were just burps. Just real low ones, maybe put them through a harmonizer or something.
Is this going to be your solo project? Because I don't know if these two would be down.
Oh, I'm down.
Oh, this guy will part your hair with some of his burps.
I know. I felt it a few minutes ago when it went. It was.
He cleared off the dry erase board with
Yeah, yeah. Made me lose my train of thought there for a minute. I was like, whoa, what was that?
It's a cloud of stink.
A little bit, you know. You still got that black cloud above your head a little bit. You're still drifting in it.
Yeah, you got to give props to Mark because when he's doing the vocals, he's playing drums too. So you really
That's
see
a hard thing to do.
Yeah, he does that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's getting easier. Originally, when Nocturnus first came around, that was the first death metal drummer that sang that I ever saw. So that's definitely one of my big influences for that. And I don't know, it's kind of our gimmick now, I guess, if we have a gimmick.
Before you guys were all a band, what were your backgrounds as musicians?
Well, I've been doing music my whole life. I actually started out playing oboe when I was a kid, and did some guitar, and then did bass, and done a little bit of keyboards, and drums is just what I'm doing now. I even tried starting a side project to play bass, and I wound up back on the drums. So that's what I do. Sit there and sweat my ass off.
Yeah, I started playing guitar when I was 13. Then my mom bought me a guitar when I was 13. It sat in the corner. She threatened to throw it in the garbage, so I picked it up when I was 14. So yeah, it sat there in the corner for a year until she said she's gonna throw it in the garbage, and then I picked it up again and started learning Iron Maiden songs because that was like my favorite band back then. It still is actually. Then just jammed in school. Didn't do too much in high school as far as music because I didn't really have like a music class or anything like that. I mean, all I can get was playing the bass drum, or I don't even know if you would call
Triangle.
it the triangle. So I did that. I'm like, oh, this doesn't facilitate guitar whatsoever, So kind of went on my own, and I met up with Dark Oasis was kind of the first band that I jammed with the drummer, which eventually is how I met Mark. But that's a very, very long story. I don't want to get into that, but
No, go ahead. We got a lot of time.
Okay.
Let Dan talk first, and then
Okay,
and then
yeah.
we'll learn about how you two ended up really meeting.
I started out playing guitar when I was probably around 14, 15 years old. Toyed around with that for a great many years. Mainly rhythm. I didn't try to do any leads because I cannot thrash or wail anything like Frank. Ended up having an accident at a job I was having, and had some nerve damage in my picking hand, and couldn't hold a pick anymore. So I pretty much just gave up on guitar until I tried to take a crack at bass, and you don't need a pick to play bass. So with a background in guitar, it was pretty much just taking the training wheels off again and getting back out and doing it. And I'm so glad I did.
Right you are, Ken.
Yeah. Well, when I started with playing with this other guy named Chuck, he was playing drums, and me and him got together with this other guy from high school, and they wanted to do Twisted Sister death metal.
What?
And
That's a what? If
We're
I've
gonna
ever
wear the
heard
wigs
that.
with the corpse paint.
Well,
I could see.
Oh, you mean like
with
black
your-
metal?
they
Yeah.
they wanted to do Twisted Sister songs and death metal, and I was like, well, actually, it was the one guy's idea, and me and Chuck were like, well, we really don't want to do that, So me and him just kind of went off on our own, and we found this other guy named Tom, and from that we moved on to getting an actual practice spot, and now we started looking for a bass player, and that's how we found Mark. And he came in, and we started jamming with Dark Oasis, and I think we produced an album, Lurking in the Darkness.
You think you produced it? Like what?
Details
what
are
happened
fuzzy.
with this?
This is back when he used to party now.
Yeah, that's when I was doing.
Is this album out at all?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's out there. Yeah,
Okay.
people in Chicago remember that. We used to play the Gateway Theater, not too far away from here. Did a lot of shows there. Thirsty Whale, if anybody remembers Thirsty Whale, we did that.
By an ocean.
Yeah, we did a lot of shows at Thirsty Whale, a couple other places too. When that band went to shit, I think Mark realized it was going to shit first because he was like, came in one day to practice. He's like, hey, you know what? I'm out of here. I can't handle this anymore. It took me I think like 2 months to realize that it was going to shit too. There was a kind of dictatorship happening. It started becoming like a job. So we're like, well, you know what? It's a job. I don't like working. That's a job, So it's like, well, I jam because I want to have fun, and I pretty much ended. And I think I went a year without playing, and then Mark started jamming with Tom, this other guy named Tom, and they called me up after a year. It was like, hey man, we got this band called Waking Chaos. I don't know if it was called Waking Chaos at first or.
I don't remember if we had the name nailed down yet. I think that you were there when we named it because you drew the logo.
Yeah, and we were actually playing at an animal hospital, which the other guitarist was it a doc? No, he was like
He was like a doctor's assistant.
Yeah.
You
Or like a
guys
vet's
get the
assistant?
weirdest place to play shows.
Oh, no, this was our practice spot.
That's a
we
practice
jammed in the
spot.
basement,
Animal hospital.
In the Splains.
A Mexican plays, a deaf person's plays, and
Oh yeah.
and a thirsty whale.
We got a hell of a resume, let me tell
Right,
you.
I know. This is fascinating because nobody else is coming in and goes, I played at the Thirsty Whale. What the fuck is a Thirsty Whale?
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah,
I
I guess-
definitely feel old now, man.
Yeah, we're showing our
Oh.
age, man.
Ouch. Ouch.
There was actually a place back in the day called the Thirsty Whale.
Was
and
it shaped like a
awesome.
whale?
No, I don't know why they named it that. I thought maybe it had something to do because there was a lot
I mean,
of
if it
fat
has
chicks
a
that went
unique-
there.
Oh. Now I gotcha.
Have you ever been
Rock
to
the
Gene and
boat?
Jude's, the hot dog joint?
Yes.
Okay.
It was
Yes.
used to be right behind Gene and Jude's.
Okay.
Right.
You should have just had a pirate ship there and would have been so much better. The Thirsty Whale? What?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, continue.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but that was, those were the Dark Oasis days, Yeah, we did produce an album, from all that. If people are interested, it's up on YouTube. Go to that Art to Morbid YouTube channel, and it's there. All the songs are there from that album. And actually, there's a show that I posted on there that we did a cable access show called Rock My Ass. And that's there.
Rocket.
Rock My Ass.
Yeah, and the guy that did the whole thing, he looked like a fat version of Ricky Rackman.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Ready to rock.
Yeah. So that's
I think he
up
needs
on
to
it.
change the name of that show. Give people the wrong idea when you watch.
I know we got a good response out of it, actually. So.
Yeah, definitely. So if anybody wants to see that live Dark Oasis stuff, and go check it out. It's up there.
just rocked my ass.
That, I think he did say that, actually.
Yeah, he did. Actually, yeah.
That's the worst line ever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was cheesy as hell, but...
But it was cool. Like our attraction for that band, it was a thing called Cecil. It was a mascot. It was we had this huge pentagram from a band called Forest of the Impaled. If anybody knows that band, black metal band, they had a big pentagram. It was a 6-foot pentagram, and they couldn't get it out of their practice room where we jammed that with them, so they donated it to us. So we took it and we kind of made up what looked like blood on it, and we put a corpse on it. Actually, I forgot where the corpse came from, but. So we crucified a corpse on this pentagram, and that was our main stage thing.
It
I
was
think,
the hobo that lived
Yeah, I think we
in
got
the
like
room.
yeah. The reaction we got from that, we played Easter. Wait, was it? No, it wasn't Easter. I don't know. We did a Friday. I know it was some kind of religious
I don't think
themed
Easter's
thing.
ever been on a Friday.
Oh.
No,
Or-
isn't it?
Or
Only in
It's
Guatemala.
not Black Friday. It's
Good Friday.
Good Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
We
played Good Friday.
We played
with
Good
this-
Friday, and we set up at the Gateway Theater. We had a big crowd there for it, and they just see this big pentagram with a corpse come up on stage, and everybody's just like shocked. They're like, "Holy shit!" It's like, "What the fuck is that?" So that was cool. It was a good reaction. Actually, when we played the Gateway Theater, we used to make up flyers with warnings on them about mosh pit, injuries and stuff, and we were really heavy into putting out flyers everywhere. So we had put some on the CTA, and at the time, one of the flyers made it back to the mayor's office, Daly's, and he actually got the cops to go to the Gateway Theater, and so we got to the show, and there's all these cops. Because of the
Whoa.
flyer that we put, there was going to be injuries, and we're not liable if people get hurt or they bust their heads open or anything.
And believe me, that did happen.
Yeah.
There were some injuries there because if you'd ever been there, It's like there's this huge stage, and then you got like 8 to 10 feet, and then chairs that are permanently put into the floor.
So what's the worst that you saw somebody end up getting hurt?
Oh, a guy jumped up on stage, moshed around real quick, stage dived off, and just went right over the people, and
my God.
smack right into the chairs. That's on the video.
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
And you just hear the whole place go, oh!
Yeah.
So how bad was he hurt?
He was bleeding a little bit out of his head. I remember that.
Yeah. Well, I think at that show, I don't know, I think it was like, they used to have like 10 bands or something playing, and we were like the headlining act. And I think Joey D'Amato was running it. Was it
DeMarco?
DeMarco.
Joey D'Amato.
Jesus Christ.
He's 3 for 3.
You're making me look good tonight, because usually this is me butchering
Oh, okay.
everything.
Who the hell's in
Well, that's
charge
good.
of Frank's teleprompter over here? He keeps mistyping words.
Joey D'Amato.
It might as well be, you know. It's like,
Like a tomato sauce.
or either way, there was 10 bands that played, and all the seats got ripped up at the Gateway Theater, and they wanted to stick us with the bill, so they wouldn't let us leave. Trying to make us pay $500 for all the chairs that got ripped up in the front.
How'd
of the
you get out of
Gateway
it?
Theater. We refused, you know, and our lovely ex-guitar player in that band, once everybody left the office, he stayed in there and made a deal with this guy and paid him off with our band money. It sucked, you know, but true story, you know. That's what happened. So, yeah, it was against our will, but he went ahead and paid it off anyways. And I was like, well, you know, to us, it's like, well, there's 10 bands that play, so why aren't you, you know, getting a member from each of those bands and, you know, blame them too, you know? But
And they probably did and just didn't let us see that.
It was when you guys were playing.
yeah, well, that's I mean, the people tore up the whole place throughout the whole night, you know, so it wasn't just us, you know. But oh well,
We got memories out of it.
yeah, a lot of.
That's
good
all that
memory.
counts, and you got video footage too. Even
That's
better.
right. Yeah, definitely.
So when you like black out drunk,
Yeah, after I
you can
blacked
rewatch
out
it,
coming
yeah.
off the stage, you know, they were able to go, hey, remember this?
I don't remember
Good
that at all.
times.
Yeah, and I think that's why there's a lot of they don't let a lot of death metal bands play, because a lot of places closed down because of you know what I'm saying, like people getting hurt. Or actually, there was last time there was a show at Gateway Theater that had death metal bands. A full blown riot broke out, and that was pretty much the end of the shows for death metal at that place. Same thing with another place, Jackhammers. Another
Oh,
riot, riot broke out at that place too.
Yeah,
you know?
kid ended up breaking his clavicle.
Yeah, and actually, most of the time it was the security people roughing up like either like fans or band people, roughing them up, and you know, the death metal people, they just don't take that shit, so they just start a full out brawl. But it's usually the security people starting it, you know. That's what you get.
Yeah, we like to just hit each other, but I mean, if they want to jump in and get a black eye too, I'm not going to discriminate.
That'd be fun to see. Not gonna lie, I'm pissed off at watching the people at Tinley Park. They won't allow mosh pits anymore. They're just kicking people. I'm being interrupted for something. Keep talking.
That's okay. I'll give you a topic.
Talk
Rhode
so
Island
much.
is not a road or an island. Discuss amongst yourselves.
Oh man,
Ever go to make a pork sausage and find it's got hairs all over it?
ouch.
Ugh.
So you guys,
Terrible.
influence-wise, individually as a band, what's influenced your sound, even as an individual when you play?
Well, obviously, you know, Barry Manilow. Not really.
Die.
A lot of the old classic death metal, the early Cannibal, Morbid, Deicide, even though two of those bands are not really listenable anymore.
No, not anymore.
Definitely Slayer and Gwar, all the early heavy stuff.
What did you guys listen to growing up that influenced you guys, though, to play the music that you're playing now?
For me, Testament,
Yeah, that's a good one. Exodus,
Slayer,
obviously.
early Metallica.
I would say Napalm Death was probably the first time I ever heard actual death metal, so I guess that would have to be an influence too.
Anthrax.
Yeah.
Did the camera just die?
That's okay.
Okay.
I think the
I'm
batter- I think the
making sure
batter's
it's
low.
not just me going, what?
Nah,
I think we're
don't
just
worry.
so ugly it shut itself off.
Yeah, I think we got enough.
Maybe it
tired of
smelled one of
looking
your
at Frank.
farts or something.
Oh, ouch.
Whoever that was, I heard that.
Yeah, I think we got enough footage either way, so it's good.
Not me. I would have planted it right on Bibbs if I had one. So.
Ooh, yummy.
Yeah.
So what about you, Frank? Because you were fucking with the camera over here.
Oh, yeah. Influence-wise,
Mariachi music.
wow.
Anything with a sombrero.
Thanks, man. Well, Iron Maiden definitely one of the biggest bands, and early on, I know these guys could probably make fun of me, but Guns N' Roses.
Hey,
early,
Appetite for Destruction was a brilliant album.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Well, that was a kind of like a big influence when I was like 13, 14. And I think the first death metal I've ever heard was on a underground station called G-Force. I think it's G-Force. I heard the band Death, Spiritual Healing. That's the first death metal song I heard. And I was just kind of blown away by the way it sounded. And the first death metal show that I seen was a place called Fach's, and I seen a band called Baphomet playing live. That was my first live show experience, and I was just kind of mesmerized from that moment on. My first concert was Metallica for Injustice for All. I think it was you were at that show, right? Tinley Park.
Tinley Park,
it was-
no. I
Not
was
me.
at the one.
Yeah, I definitely like the way we write the songs. I mean, so we have we have a title obviously, and then we begin with several paragraphs, and we all pass the sheet around until we have something that.
What was your first show, Bibbs?
My first show was actually 1982, Ozzy Osbourne and Motley Crue.
Wow.
That's a long time
That's
ago.
awesome.
I got to see Randy Rhoads play before
I
the
didn't even
plane
know that.
crash.
Wow.
That was probably the most memorable one, considering
good one.
the circumstances.
I can't remember the year for my first show, but it was Testament, Sabotage, and Nuclear Assault.
That's really cool.
That's a
too.
strong
Yeah, it was on the
lineup.
Practice What
Yeah.
You Preach tour.
Wow.
Yeah.
That blows mine away. That.
Yeah, that was my first mosh pit.
How do you guys feel being, I don't want to call you old, but an
Oh,
older...
we're old.
We are old.
None of you guys have gray hair yet. So.
Oh, yes, we do.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
on my nuts.
See, like that?
But I dye that.
don't want to see that part, but I mean, whatever I can see, you guys must dye it, because obviously I can't see gray hair.
No, actually,
No?
I think
No.
all the liquors kept me well preserved, and
No, it's the beer that's giving your hair the color now.
it's gotta be.
It's all that sweat. It's all beer now.
What color's your hair? Beer.
Beer blonde.
No, I was gonna say, when you guys watch other bands now, the ones that you end up playing with or local shows that you go to, how do you feel about the music now? How much it's evolved from what you guys grew up listening to?
Well, it's really good to see this resurgence of the old heavy stuff, like the early thrash metal. A lot of the younger kids now are into the really good shit that started it all, and it's good to see it hasn't died off yet.
Right, there's a really good young band out of Elmhurst. You probably know them, Carnal Abomination.
Oh yeah.
They're actually really, really good.
Yeah, I like their
if
playing.
they stay, at what they're doing, then they're gonna make a very strong name for themselves. There's also another really just amazingly technical death metal band that kind of fell off the scene for a while, but is starting to the legwork to make a comeback is Wounds of Ruin. And if you've never heard of Wounds of Ruin, you need to check them out, because you're going to hear them and you're going to be like, why are they not signed? Why isn't anybody?
Well, there's a lot of bands actually around
but-
here that I'm always wondering, how are labels not looking at them? Because
It's a wonder,
It's a do-it-yourself scene these days.
right?
it really is.
Here today, gone later today.
I think a big advantage of the bands today is that they got an open market of things that they can learn from. I mean, when I was growing up, I couldn't just look up, how to do certain style of playing like you can do now. You can just go on YouTube and type anything you want, or anything, pull up tablature of anything. So yeah, it's a big advantage on the younger generation, which is great, So yeah, I definitely see a lot of younger bands out there, doing some insane things that I was like, wow, good thing, because you always thought it's like, oh, is this all just gonna fade away, but it really hasn't. It just gotten better and better and better,
Yeah,
It's kind of an eye opener, going to play the all ages shows, and it's like, wow. I got two decades on some of these kids.
Up, yeah.
Right. But it's amazing to see how much they appreciate all the stuff that got us in to this style of music, and it's it's great. It's almost like a rebirth of brutality, and I love every second of it. It's great. You almost in a stupid sense kind of feel like you've had a little bit of an influence on them. Like, yeah, don't listen to that fucking shit. Listen to this.
And with that said, we are going to take a break really fast, and you are going to listen to more of Waking Chaos's newest album.
Cool.
And you are listening to A Piece of Metal. Keep with us.
Straight
That's not us.
Not you at all.
This is Frank's side project. Chico and the Man.
Well, you know it's not because there's no farts.
I like farts.
What is going on? This is A Piece of Metal, and I am Morgan, and this has been me talking for almost 2 hours with Waking Chaos. Actually, quite close to home to know that they are from Villa Park and around that area, and here I am from Elmhurst. So it's nice, and I play a show with you guys, and it's been awesome being able to like talk to you guys because I don't think I talked to you guys when we played together.
Well, it's really cool getting to know you, and the show is fucking awesome. I love it.
I know. I'd love being able to support local bands and just play their music and have them talk about what influences them because they don't get that opportunity very much.
No, we don't. Thank
we
you.
actually-
Thanks again for having us.
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
So where can people find you guys in order to get in contact, to know about shows?
Well, we are on MySpace. If you got a MySpace page, just go to Waking Chaos. Sure, there's like maybe 1 or 2 other bands out there that have the same damn name, but one of them's from England and they suck. The other one's from California. They suck.
And you are obviously the most brutal and better
We
than
are
them
the
all.
most
Yeah,
brutal,
we're the only-
and yes,
yeah.
Yes, we are all non-suck.
we
Yeah.
all don't suck.
Yeah, as of lately, it's been Facebook, the main one that people have been hitting us up on. Facebook and Reverb Nation are the 2 main ones that people can contact. If we want to get a hold of us in a much personal way, go to wakingchaos@yahoo.com, and that's chaos with a K. So wakingchaos@yahoo.com. That's our email. But Facebook is probably the most effective one. If you reach us through there, much easier that way.
Or you can stop by our jam spot for a beer,
There you go.
We're there most of the time. And
Yep.
that last song was called Reign of Terror. That was a song we kind of departed a little bit, try to use a little bit of black metal influence. That's why you hear the keyboard in there, if you can actually hear it. And,
Who played keyboard for that song?
That was actually me. I was kind of influenced to do that by I saw the Zappa Plays Zappa DVD, and the one chick Sheila was playing saxophone with one hand and keyboards with the other hand. And I was like, well, why can't I do that with drums? So I just used one hand on the keyboard and then kind of alternated between hi-hat and snare.
I think a
And,
few people actually got to see some shows that Mark did vocals, drums, and keyboards all in one song.
See, why aren't you a one-man act and trying to go on to America's Got Talent?
He's got way too much pride for that.
I mean, you could be the one-man death metal.
Because I can't find a roadie, basically.
Yeah, I'm in the
I don't
band
like setting
now.
up.
I used to be the roadie. I used to be the guy that
Funny
would
how
lug the
things
gear
work out.
around and all that shit. And now here I am actually still lugging gear around and shit. But
That would be kind of fun, though, to
I
just,
get to
play
use
the
it now.
backing track.
I've been asked to ask you guys if one of you guys was dying and you needed a transplant of any kind, would you guys be willing to give up your organs to save that person?
Ooh, I don't know. Obviously, mine would have to be a liver transplant. I'll take Frank's. It's got to be pretty springy by now,
There you go. Just take, go. I mean,
I'll swap you a kidney for it,
You guys can go ahead and have my organs.
you
I'm
guys
fine
are
with
getting.
that.
Hey, keep your organ over there, buddy. I don't want nothing to do with it.
I don't
One of
think-
you can have my asshole. The other one can have my sphincter. Other than that,
I don't
nobody's
think they
touching
do those
anything
kind
out me.
of transplants right now.
Well, we've come a long way in technology, so,
But would you really want that?
No.
Oh, man.
I'll keep all my
Somebody
plumbing.
would out there though.
Probably. I mean, if they had a little bit of a problem down there, they'd want a bigger one.
I'll keep my plumbing going.
A bigger asshole. What?
Wow.
You guys said you needed shows to play, and actually, Mike's Love and Music is looking to book bands for October. A lot of them are all ages shows, but there's actually one September 30th. They're looking for a 21 and up show, and one for September 16th, which is 2 weeks from now on a Friday. So if you need that, Mike's Love and Music. Phil Bunton does Chicago Women of Metal on a little bit, and does most of his stuff with Metal Fury. So
Okay.
if you guys want to play, do that.
All right, much appreciate
Other
So,
announcements
Okay,
for this
so
weekend.
who do we hit up for that? That Phil?
Phil Bunton.
Okay.
Yeah, he's actually October 7th through 14th, and then 21st through the 28th. He needs bands.
Okay. I would say probably in October 14th. Probably be
That might-
best
that might
for
work.
us.
If you contact me, anybody listening to,
Okay.
I can get you in touch with him, and he will
Sweet.
get you guys a gig.
Definitely. That'll be awesome.
Um,
Thank you.
Other announcements that I found for the upcoming week: Skull King is looking for a drummer. They want somebody to be able to slam out double kicks, as he puts it. Contact Nick DiNardo for details.
Is that the guys with a really good bass player?
I think so. Yeah.
Awesome.
Don't worry,
Really
I'm
good
not-
bass
I'm not
player in
jumping
Skull
ship.
King. The 31st of August, Unveiling Chaos is playing at the Cobra Lounge with Nevertheless Vain. It's the Zombies versus Skeletons theme. Unveiling Chaos was actually just on our show 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they got drunk. They
right.
got drunk here. They had a good time, I think. September 2nd at Mike's Love and Music is Legions of Rom, After the Sphere, and Scientist. And that should be a good show. Scientist is actually going to be on our show in October. And then last, this weekend at Club 38 is Alchemy Rising and Psychopathic Days with Impale, and that's a 21 and older show. So not a lot going on this weekend, but there's enough shows where you won't get confused that if you want something to do, there's nothing overlapping this time. Last weekend was crazy. There was like 4 or 5 different shows, and I'm like reading this going, how are you supposed to go to all these? Not going to happen.
I was out of town. I didn't see any of them.
I don't blame you. I mean, that one guy, after fucking up all the sound and having some cover band play, I was just like, really? Get me out of JD right now. But I'm there to support. And it was a good show. Anything else before we wrap it up? Any shout-outs to listeners that tuned in tonight? Fans?
Yeah, I want to send a shout out to Matt Carlton. He's actually working on our video for the song Freedom Revoked. It's on Imminent Annihilation album. He's come out to do the preliminary video shoot for it. I think he's going to do a second round of shooting, and then hope to have that video up in the next couple of months for people to check that out.
Yeah, I think that's going to turn out really
Yeah,
good.
Matt Carlton, thanks for your help.
Fuck yeah, Matt. Thanks.
I'm gonna be a big fucking dork right now, and I'm gonna give a shout out to my wife and my dog.
Your fucking wife and
My
dog.
fucking wife and my dog. My wife Melissa and my dog Icky.
I'm sure she loves you for that.
She better.
Thanks, Bibs.
What about you, Mark? What do you got?
I guess to everybody, because I didn't even really tell anybody about it, so I guess.
You know what? I honestly thought you were going to burp into the microphone. You look like you were gearing up to do it. I was like, that's going to be his shout out, is just blowing gas out of his mouth to people.
I send a shout out to you, Morgan and Josh, Tony, I think I was, or Mike.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, Mike.
Thanks for the
Mike's running
assist.
board right now.
Yeah,
Tony took all of our pictures.
thank you
Josh.
very, very much for having us. I really appreciate
Anytime.
the support. This is really helpful for us because, definitely, we need more exposure. Any local bands, need help, and this is a great opportunity. So,
And the
thank
show
you.
gets archived too, so you guys
Awesome.
are able to air it whenever you guys want.
Oh,
Once I
that's
get the
fucking
link, I will
sweet.
send it to
I
you.
can't wait to
And
hear
you can
it.
listen to yourselves on the fucking radio.
Cool.
Like, boy, are we a bunch of jag-offs.
Yeah.
You did
We
a lot of talking. That's
We're
awesome.
really
I-
lame. The other band came in here and got drunk. We didn't do shit but make fun of Frank.
Which is usual, So
Yeah, I drove, or I would have shown up fucking shit-faced.
Well,
Fit-chased.
I want to thank you guys for coming out because I know the drive out here. I don't know if you guys take highway, but I take Irving Park, and
Yes.
That's
it's
exactly what we
Yes.
did.
such a bitch sometimes with the way people drive.
But
Like,
you get to go past Rolling Stones.
I agree. It's a scenic route. I like coming out here when it's like 7 o'clock and I'm seeing deer on the side of the road.
There
That's
you go.
awesome.
And you aim for them.
Right. No, I
Oh.
don't aim for them.
Oh,
But I like to look at them.
I guess that's another show.
Yeah, I guess.
No, but
Thanks
thank
so
you.
much for having us out.
I had a lot of
This is
fun. I
great.
enjoyed talking to you guys. You guys got a lot of
Definitely,
energy, and I love the fact that I finally got to meet you guys after playing a show with you.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
fucking
But
cool.
anytime you guys are welcome to come back, and definitely check these guys out on Facebook and go to their live shows because they are sick, live, awesome guys.
September 24th at End Zone. Yeah,
Aurora Metal Mayhem is what they're calling it.
Yep. 4 bands. Should be awesome within Mass.
It's on Farnsworth Boulevard, I believe.
Right. Everscape and Bury Your Demons. That's the other bands. So yeah, come on out. If you're,
There we go.
If you're in the area,
That's a
come
way to
on
end
out
the
and
show.
support. It's awesome.
Well, this has been another round of A Piece of Metal. I have been Morgan Danielle, your hostess for tonight, and we are broadcasting from 4055 at PC here on Milwaukee Avenue across from Portage Theater. Thanks for tuning in, and see you later.